Hello, everybody. I'm trying to find a good lighting spot, but my parents are visiting, so my dad is where my office is, and he's doing his morning exercises. So see, he's 80. We should never stop doing our exercises. So for today's first live since the beginning of July, I've missed you all so much. So our welcome back live. So our last live for July, I'll have August's schedule out by the end of the week so that we can prepare for next week. And just a heads up, we are having Laura, who's Laura Weitzel, a member from our group here. She'll be presenting at the end of August as our guest speaker. And I'll drop more information on that. It's going to be good. It's going to be good because she is a coach for women, all just like us. So anyway, today's mindfulness session is more of a neuro trick, right? So that I thought of doing this one because sleep is so important. And this trick I use for when I'm either having trouble falling asleep or I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't fall back asleep. If during the day we have a lack of sleep or we're feeling overwhelmed or we're hungry, all of those halts, right? HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. It's much harder to practice mindfulness. Any of the mindfulness tips that you've been given through the Learning Center, the Learning Circle here, or from anywhere else, they're much less effective, and we have trouble recalling them if we are in one of those places: hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So as I thought about this trick, I know there's other ways that we can use it too, and I'll mention those, but for the neuro tip is called cognitive shuffling. And I'm going to share with you 2 ways to do it and tell you why it's important why it's useful rather, for when we're having trouble falling back to sleep or even going to sleep. Or the third way that I thought of after that I don't use, but I will be from now on, is when I'm finding myself in ruminating thoughts, anxiousness, nervousness, right? So cognitive shuffling, it is a stage of sleep that our brain goes through. It's almost like a pre-dream state where our brain is going, all right, I'm bored and I'm going to shut down and I'm going to fall into a deeper state of sleep. And so how we can actually induce this cognitive shuffling is the 2 ways that I'm going to show you. The first way is by just naming random things, random items that aren't connected, right? So if I was to say, think of everything that's at a school desk, right? You would start to then organize, right? But what we want to do is try to disorganize our brain. So you would say pencils, paper, rulers, scissors, right? But what we want to do is name random stuff. So it might be, I'll practice a little bit right now. It could be cow, lamp, scissors, moon, car, loafers, bread, right? So just keep naming and visual. You don't have to do it fast. It isn't like a speed thing. Just keep naming things and visualizing it and thinking of the next object that comes to your mind. So that's one way to create a cognitive shuffle in our brain. And then the second way that we can do this is choose a letter of the alphabet, and you are going to name an item with that letter, and then take a count of 4 in-breaths, a count of 4 out-breaths, and then name another object with that letter. So we are sort of doing an organization when we choose the same letter, but it'll be different. So for example, it might be, so I actually the other night tried this and I picked A, And I was like, got quickly frustrated because I couldn't think like beyond aardvark and apple. Like I couldn't start to think of A words. So I went with R, which I feel like there's maybe more R words, right? So for example, let's just say I say F. So in my head, I'm going to go feather. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Far away. It's not really a thing, but it's a word, right? And that was the first F word that came to my mind. Oh, that's so funny, F word. Then you're doing your count again, right? And if you find that 4 doesn't feel good, I wouldn't do less than 4 of an inhale, exhale, but you can certainly extend it. We now are inducing not only a cognitive shuffle, but a depression in our respiratory rate, which then also helps us to fall asleep. So twofold here with this one, right? And so you're then breathing in and out, and then maybe you're saying forest, right? And so you're just naming things that come to mind. And I'm amazed. You eventually, your brain, like I didn't eventually feel bored, but my brain eventually got bored and I fell right asleep. Once I did it going to bed and once I did it in the middle of the night. This week alone, like last week alone, right? I use it quite often. So it's a great midlife tool for those sleepless nights, right? Or when you are waking up in the middle of the night, which seems to be me lately. So, but then also, like I said, try it for when you're having some ruminating thoughts to stop that brain from organizing thoughts around what's bothering you. And then when you have pulled yourself out, right? Because we can do this. We can remove ourselves from anxious, ruminating thoughts. Then we're able to approach the situation mindfully. And that's the intent of, I think, why we're learning all this is so that we can learn to live more mindfully. So that is your Monday mindfulness tip for today. And I hope that you use it. Let me know if you do, or let me know if you already use it and if you enjoy it. So we will finish up for today, and I will have August's schedule out later this week. Take care, everybody.